I am the world's most colossal idiot. I've been muted.
Muted this whole time?
I've been muted for Moon and
Oh.
Side for like the past 15 minutes. I'm such an idiot.
Oh my goodness.
By the way, guys, we're live. We've started. Okay, here we are for.
Okay.
Here we
So,
are for Triple S.
hello, everybody.
Triple S Live. Welcome.
Hi.
Haven't done this in a while. Moon, I was just talking about how we're back in these red boxes. We haven't been here in a while. You look amazing as always. I look like a dude with poor lighting in front of a black curtain, and Saib is a logo. So just like old times.
As per usual.
Just like old times with just far more screw ups. We got Polly's in the house. We got Terica. It's been 84 years exactly to the day, Polly's.
Exactly.
Yes, and this is going. We're doing this regularly again, every Thursday now. That's the current plan. We're gonna go live at this time. Except next week might be a little different because next week's the Game Awards, which we're gonna cover live, and I actually don't know what time the broadcast is. But here we are.
Yeah, it's gonna. Well, it's evening-ish, right? Like,
Is
I
it?
don't think they do it. Oh, I think. Well, not evening. Well, it depends on. Sorry, globally, evening is all the time.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
also
exactly.
not all the time. So
We have a worldwide audience here.
Yeah, no. It's I believe it's going to be like in the afternoonish for most of America, like afternoon to evening.
All right, might have to get someone to pick up the kids from school, but yeah, we're planning to cover that live. Today we're going to go through our game predictions and choices for Game of the Year, I guess, or for all the game. Oh, well, most of the categories probably will skip the esports ones. Just we're not.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
I don't know anything about those,
Don't follow.
and Saib doesn't care. So
Yeah, when I did this review, when we did this for Max's show on the Maximum News on the podcast channel, check it out. It was like, yeah. What do you mean you don't know the uncle's brother of, which of the uncle's brothers, nephews, second cousins are nominated for the best, supporting role in some esport thing? Because that's, I know that's a little ridiculous, but it's just too much. It's like too much.
I mean,
like, no,
esport.
no.
Some people are really into that. Some people like sports games.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
Some people can't stand first person. I mean, everybody's weird in some sort of way.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing that's in the world of esports that you're not going to see, and that's a Smash tournament.
Oh yes,
because that's in the news. Oh my goodness!
Right.
Yeah, well, actually,
why Google does the thing? Sorry, not Google. Why Nintendo? Also, why Google? But
Yeah.
why Nintendo does the things that it does is completely beyond me. I was watching people react to this morning. This big news coming out of the Smash scene. Everything's just absolutely chaos over there. And it basically boils down to there's a guy who runs a bunch of tournaments, and he's trying to make it so that there's only one tournament like thing, and that's all of his tournaments. He's gonna be the guy who forms the NFL of Smash tournaments. But he's not doing this by offering a better product, most would argue, allegedly. Allegedly, he's doing this by destroying all of his competition. Allegedly, because he's very lawsuit happy. So it's like people were reacting to this.
Well, it wasn't lawsuits exactly. It's Nintendo actually shut down the Smash World Tour, which is different from the Panda Cup, which is another Smash tournament. Trust
me. This thing is so convoluted. It's
very convoluted. But basically, the day before Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo shut down the Smash World Tour, which is a big Smash tournament that's sort of worldwide, and there's a whole bunch of independent events that can all participate in this. And as far as I understand, it's bigger than the Panda Cup, but the Smash World Tour is not officially licensed, whereas the Panda Cup is officially licensed. And it sounds like allegedly. There's people speculating there's some nefarious things going on behind the scenes that was resulting in someone from the Panda Cup getting the Smash World Tour shut down, which is very disappointing. And Yeah, I watched Asmongold's take on this. I read some other stuff on it. I agree with Asmongold that Nintendo shouldn't have the ability to shut down an event like this. Like, they can tell you must specify that we're not officially endorsing it or something like that. Like, maybe you can't put Nintendo's logo everywhere, whatever. I would agree with that. But if you want to host a video game event, like you can get your friends together in your living room for a Smash tournament. You know, what's the difference between that and having 1,000 people in a stadium? As long as there's no copyright infringement going on, which there isn't, and I mean, I don't know what the ins and outs of the legality of it are, but I agree that it's ridiculous that they can shut it down like this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially without compensating the people that have invested in it. So yeah, there's so yeah. What else do you guys think about that? I've never actually taken.
Well, it's not really conducive towards like building up your community. Like, clearly these people are fans, so it's like,
oh heck yeah,
why are you trying to crush the people who are supporting your product?
And it doesn't make Nintendo look good either. I mean, and they have, I don't know, how much more PR battering can they take? I suppose that, not that I think Nintendo's going under anytime soon because of this kind of a thing, but at the same time, why do they do this kind of a thing? And yet, I know full well I'm going to keep playing Nintendo's games and watching their movies. That's just... Even though I think, like, they're, with the Switch, I have the online, whatever the online subscription is called. I needed it to play Super Mario Maker 2, which I thought was really stupid. It's like, yeah, you could buy this $60 game. Yeah, you can make levels in it and then, like, play them on your own machine. There's no online connectivity in that, or I assume with any game, unless you subscribe to online connectivity. And then you get, there's also some, it's not expensive, but still, it's like, it's an irritation. It's like, really
A little extra.
And there's some perks that come with it. Like, they put a bunch of, like, games they put an app for, like, the original Nintendo and one for the Super Nintendo on your Switch if you subscribe. And then sorry, it's distracted by Paulie's comment. I'll read in a sec. So, I've been playing a bunch of Nintendo games and Super Nintendo games. Played through all of Super Metroid, which I'd never done before, which was cool. But then I saw in the store, oh, they have an N64 one. Oh, they have a Sega Genesis one. I was like, sweet. Download those. Oh yeah, you can't play these unless you subscribe to, like, the second tier of their online subscription. It's like, this is bullshit. That there's one of our 2 swears that we can have in the first 10 minutes. So, Paulie says, gets the gang together in Discord to play some Nintendo games together as friends event. Nintendo hears word. Where is my money? Throws a lawyer at everyone. Yeah.
Yep.
Tarek says, hey, how do you guys feel about the new Transformer movie? Shua! Dude.
I have not seen the new trailer for that.
I haven't.
Dude.
Or if it's out, I haven't seen it being out yet either.
I'll look it up
Shua.
here. Yeah, Shua, man, haven't seen you in ages, man. How you doing? So, yeah, Terika, how do you feel about the new Transformer movie? And also, Terika predicts, we all know God of War will win Game of the Year. Yeah, probably.
Maybe.
Let's.
For people who played it.
It's not. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You have to have played it.
Right. It's like, I've watched some people play it a little bit, but it's just not the same.
Transformer. That must be this. Transformer: Rise of the Beasts.
Ooh. Wait. The Beast Transformers?
Beast Wars.
Beast
yeah.
Wars?
Yeah.
I remember that. I loved those ones. It was great. All the animals, but robot.
Wait, where's the actual? I'm on the Transformers channel, and it has Rise of the Beasts in the artwork, but Oh, there it is.
Heidi.
Whoa! Shut up, stupid ads.
I think Transformers does a very good job of simulating what I would do with Transformer toys in my room as a kid.
Yeah.
It's like explosions, and this guy shows up and he does this, and that guy shows up and he does that, and these guys go boom. It's literally like that kind of thing, which is fine because, like, again, you know, you have to be a crazy person to look at like a thing like that and be like, we expect, where's the deep plot, the long speeches in the boardrooms,
The monologues.
opining on the nature of reality.
Yeah.
It's
Where's
like,
the half of a Star Wars movie of like diplomacy and like the Jedi sitting around in a circle?
yeah,
All right.
basic.
So obviously I can't play this trailer or we'll get copyright struck in about 2.5 seconds. But
2.5
I'm just going to scrub through a little bit
seconds.
here. So for millions of years, our world has transformed. See what they did there? Transformed.
Oh yeah, and the puns in the game are just
The
But
puns.
something else has awakened. Is it a beast by any chance? What's this? What the heck is it?
In the
It's
jungle.
it's Robo King Kong.
Ah!
If you guys, there'll be a bit of a delay, but if you want to see, just look at the preview on the.
yeah.
Is that Optimus Prime? Yes, that's Optimus Prime. Is Ron Perlman actually?
Ron Perlman as Optimus Prime.
Ash is trying to get a copy. I'm not playing the trailer. I'm just looking.
Wait,
at
wait, wait.
stills.
Ron Perlman as Optimus Prime. What happened to the original dude?
I don't know. Shua's posted in chat. Ron Perlman's playing Optimus Prime. I
Why?
haven't
That's
verified.
not. Okay, that's I think I remember reading some fallout about between. Oh yeah.
You know what this?
Yeah.
I know.
You know what this shot here makes me want? Makes me want a Transformers Fast and Furious crossover.
Yes.
Well, as long as these mega corporations keep on buying out everybody else, eventually we'll have this.
Is that a mech?
You
Yeah.
know.
Is that a mech dragon? Oh yes. I mean, here's the thing with Transformer movies. Like, the stories suck. The robots smashing on each other and stuff is cool, and that's why, as you've said many times, Seb, that's why we go to see Transformer movies. But can we
Robots
have one?
go smash, smash.
Yeah, robot smashy smash, not like making sandwiches smashy smash, but like smashing. Maybe they make sandwiches. I mean, you got to get baby Transformers somehow. But yeah, I want one with a good story. I stopped watching them because I was like, this is boring.
I just have
guarantee
my
I-
memories of watching shows growing up, and I'm happy with that right now. Nostalgia.
It's low Q entertainment. One should only see if drunk or baked, says Polly's. Fair enough. I definitely won't be seeing this in theaters. I have what are the movies that I do want to see? I want to see the Weird Al parody movie with Harry Potter kid. What's his name?
Oh my god.
Daniel Radcliffe. Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al Yankovic. Gonna be watching that as soon as my wife and I get a date night because she wants to see it too. Weirdly enough.
I had not heard about this, but that just sounds interesting.
It's and it's supposed to be the story. It's the story of Weird Al's life, but it's as crazy. Like, it's not an actual serious biopic. Like, it's a parody of Weird Al's life as much as his songs are parodies of real songs. And then I started watching A Quiet Place. That was pretty good. But that's another one. I often have a movie on in the background. You can't watch A Quiet Place in the background. You have no idea what's
No.
going on. It's like
No idea.
95%
Just everything.
visual storytelling, which is amazing. So anyway, Transformers is American kaiju. What is kaiju, Moon?
Oh, that's like mecha.
Kaiju is the giant monsters,
Ah, awesome.
and that's not that's I'm pretty sure that's Japanese, but yeah.
Yes, it is Japanese.
Yeah.
Well, he says,
Gozira.
well, I wasn't asking Moon that because she's Chinese. I was asking
No.
Moon that because she knows about those kinds of things. And I was just going to make a joke that might get us booted off of YouTube, so I won't do that now. Okay.
Save it for the Discord.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's
Join
look
our
at.
Discord so you can hear the joke.
It's the closest Americans get to kaiju. Ah, fair enough.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
new Mario movie trailer. Did you guys get a chance to watch this?
Woo. Yeah, I saw the trailer.
Some cool stuff in here. I watched it with my kids, and the one was like, "We have got to watch this movie," and the other one was like, "Luigi's voice is weird." It was like, both fine takes. Both fine takes. Someday you'll have a podcast. So it starts out. So there's some cool stuff in here. They've really. This movie is. I started. It's 100% fan service. So. Starts off with Mario in this arena. And immediately we've got Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
And they're going at it. Mario gets his butt kicked.
of course.
But then we see Toad. We see and hear Peach. Now, I can't remember who voices Peach in this. Toad is, I think, Keegan-Michael Key. Okay. Luigi is like 0-point energy captured by Bowser. And then, you know what this scene got me thinking about? Are the Bob-ombs sentient? Because that's kind of disturbing if they are.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, my sole purpose is to destroy myself. Like, there's so many things wrong with that on so many levels.
I mean, if
It's like
If they're
only
just-
sentient enough to run to point A.
they're just like a little wind-up robot, sure, that's fine. But yeah, Mario. So okay, I'm gonna have to look up who plays what in this. And then it looks like there's like this training montage. Well, here we see Mario and Luigi in what looks like Brooklyn. So I mean, this just I put out a video. So tell us in the chat if you thought what you thought about Mario's voice. Should they have gone with the Brooklyn voice? Should they have gone with the Italian voice? Should they have stuck with Charles Martinet? Actually, I get Moon and Sibes' take on it as well. I put out a whole video on it that had like super high production value, so I feel like I've said my piece. But I don't know. What do you think about Mario's new voice?
I think what you said in your video, which everybody should go and watch, is like it like that makes sense. It's like you don't want, like, you really don't want that to be a thing, right? Like, you don't want to hear Mario's video game voice for an entire movie because it would get really annoying really fast. I think that's a very like standard, understandable, logical thing. Like 100%. Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, in the chat, Polly says, I do not mind it. Shua says it doesn't bother me, which is a good thing. I agree. Because it's like, yeah, it would be annoying to hear like a very stylized accent from it for like the whole duration, whereas like this is like more relatable, more understandable. You don't have like weird pronunciations that you're like, what did he say?
Yeah, and it fits the original lore too. The Mario brothers are from Brooklyn. They're not, and so they have Italian, like an Italian Brooklyn accent is what they have. They don't have a Italian. Oh, linguine, rigatoni. But
Just say past the names.
yeah, you sound Italian. Lasagna. Oh, ravioli. That's what Mario does when he falls asleep in Mario 64. He's like, oh, ravioli. Ah, linguini. Like, okay then. Don't know that would work for a movie. Can't play the audio. Peach's voice sounds pretty good. They didn't make her the squeaky, like, she has a good voice quality. not the squeaky like. Because again, like I will say, the thing with the voice applies not just to Mario, to Toad's in-game voice. To have it's okay in short bursts, but to have that like for a whole movie, ew. And Peach's voice too, like, and then Bowser's voice, which I think the only game that I think I've heard Bowser's voice in is Mario Sunshine, and it's really weird. It doesn't sound right at all. But looks like we're gonna get kind of a badass actiony Peach, which is awesome. She looks like she's ready to kick some butt in her pink like jumpsuit, but with like the big axe.
Yes. Princess of action.
Yeah. And there's like a bajillion Toads. So many pink ones. Like the pink ones just stand out, I tell you. And then this like looks like some kind of training course. So I wonder if this is going to be this whole thing where Mario is like training to be the hero to defeat Bowser, and how they'll work that all into it. But
I as much as training montages are a trope and a kind of a silly thing from time to time in movies and film, they are important.
Yeah.
For the sake of showcasing that you don't just get power like handed to you. It's like you do in some sense, right? Like
don't?
In the sense of like yeah, sure. Like you do in the sense of like, okay, it takes time, like it, some people are naturally gifted. It's like, yes, there's that. But then that's just a small thing on top of the actual training that you have to do, like the actual real training.
Oh, for sure.
You have to do in order to be good at what you do. And if you're not careful, if you're not, going to extreme lengths in training, then you're not going to be ready, when the time comes. It's like, I would always prefer that thing versus the idea that, oh, just believe in yourself and you will become a superpower.
Yeah.
You don't have to train when you just believe in yourself. It's like, oh my goodness, that is so vile.
Worst.
I agree. You look at again. Shua puts don't judge #don't judge Ray. No, I'll judge Ray all the way. I could not like. Yeah, that she's supernaturally that she's naturally talented, has all the midichlorians or whatever the hell. Fine. But just that, I even had a hard time buying that she knew how to fix the Millennium Falcon, even though I could believe that she has, like a ton of mechanical.
Like, if they told that story over the course of 10 years of her starting out as just a very weak like force sensitive that maybe has some like additional gifted stuff, but then she goes on this training and there's lots of loss and like she's like dealing with how to like become stronger and she still has her own personal flaws and all this kind of stuff. If you do that, like it makes sense, right? Like this is fine. This is what you should, this is what anybody should expect for the most part.
Like, there's a good question. What are Ray's flaws?
She doesn't really have any. That's part of the
you
problem.
Think Luke, he's at the start of his journey. He's kind of immature, wants to give up a lot, right? He's kind of a hothead, kind of whiny, She had a magical ball that rolled on sand, says if the shoe fits. If I suspend belief for that, I'll buy anything. Those kinds of things. That robot was actually that was not CG. They actually made that robot, and I have one here that is works just like that. The ball rolls and the head stays on top. It's done with like magnets and stuff. It's pretty like. I don't know how practical it really is, but it does work. Like it's an actual, you can actually make that work. And yeah, BB-8 was not CG, at least like Not all the time, anyway. I'm sure he was in a few scenes.
Yeah, there were times where he was.
Shoot, where were we going with that? Yeah, so training, the hero's journey. Yeah, and so
Yeah, the hero's journey.
that's what that's what I want to see with Mario. And here we look. The reason I say I think this is a training course is, one, it's just this random course that's floating in the air. But, you know, you see here they have one of those fire bars spinning around, but it's not actually fire. It's like he's learning to dodge these things to prepare him for what actually lies ahead. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting, and you look at how much they've jam-packed into this, and here's what I mean when I say fan service, because coming up here we've got, okay, yeah, the fish on his face, that was funny. Whoa, ho! This freeze frame right here looks really dirty if you look at it the right way. Anyway, you perverts can look at that later. We got the Mario 3 Tanuki suit, which is awesome. But, oh, the fire flower. Had you ever wondered how fire flowers work? Because I always did.
Yes.
Does he eat the flower? Does he shoot the fireball out of the flower? I think that he, I
always thought he just smelled the flower.
He smelled the flower and got the firepower? Is that why it looks like he's blasting the fire out his nose? Like, bloop, bloop. Inhale the flame pollen, and you can sneeze out those fireball. It does in the older games. He brings his hand up and it's like on his nose, and it looks like the fireball's coming out his nose. Anyway, so we got Peach here absorbing the firepower from the flower, which looks really awesome. But here we've got Yoshi's Island, all the different colored Yoshis. That was an amazing game. And there's this ice world we saw in the first trailer, and then we've got, I don't know what this is. They're flying through the air for whatever reason. Action shots. And here we go, Mario Kart. So somehow they've got Mario Kart in this movie. And they're driving on Rainbow Road. So that's what I mean. A zillion% fan service, and it looks like it's going to be really quality, a real quality thing. So I'm looking forward to it. How about you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This will be very fun to watch.
Yeah, I think that it's going to ask the questions like, can they actually pull this off? Like,
yeah.
Can they actually pull this off and not make it look just like not have it just be garbage? Are they learning, right? Like, is the industry as a whole learning? And I think the answer to that is probably yes.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
You know,
I don't mean that as a bad thing. I don't mean fan service in a bad way. I know it kind of, in some contexts, it has kind of a negative connotation. Sometimes I can't even tell.
Talking about when I look up fan service, you know, on the internet, I am most certainly not given a whole bunch of absolutely, you know, things that we can't talk about. Like, that's just silly.
No, it's just websites of people who will come and repair your cooling systems.
Yeah,
fan,
you know,
fan service,
like,
right.
And like, and like, I'm trying to come up with like Master Chief and Cortana, like, you know, that kind of fan that doesn't necessarily exist, like not like that at least.
How would that even work? Is this like? Okay. I'm not going into that.
Don't ask too many questions.
All right, and thank you to, we have our patrons and channel members appearing on the top of the screen right now. Thank you to everybody who does support us. I know it's tough times for a lot of people, and so you know things happen. But we really appreciate all of you. We want to bring. We knew we were sort of falling down on the job in terms of keeping the community growing and healthy from our end. That's part of why. That's the primary reason why we're bringing back these regular live streams. Like, it's really tough.
Well, it's that, and it's like Google changed the algorithm again, so now they're like more okay with more live streams, and they're starting to push it a little bit more. They're also not good with long form videos now. They want everything to be under 2 minutes. I think it's under 3 minutes now.
Yeah, they're trying to hop
Because
back onto
they
the shorts reels or whatever.
yeah, and it's just like, can you guys make up your goddamn minds, please? Like,
Yeah,
holy
it's like,
crap,
pick a
you
lane.
flip-flopped like 10 times on this over the years, and it's not a natural evolution. Like, if they had just let the algorithm like just kept the algorithm very basic, prevented exploitation, and then
Right.
just allowed the dang thing to just work and function as it should.
Yeah, let it promote content that people are watching.
Yeah.
And now they've got this, they're facing this lawsuit, and they're calling up a bunch of these YouTube channels, and they're like, hey guys, did you know that we're being sued, and the government might tell us that we can't recommend certain videos over top of other certain videos anymore. And pretty much every single creator is the same take. It's like, good, why would we don't like this? We don't like trying to cater to an algorithm that's changing every month. Just give everybody rank choice follower, or sorry, not rank choice. Well, sort of. So you have your rank choice, and then you have your newest content, descending order basically, or reverse descending order, or however that works. Where it's just like you get to see what's new, posted by people that you follow.
Yep.
And then occasionally you're suggested other stuff that is like somewhat like
related to what you watch,
related to the thing. But for the most part, it's just people like commenting, like, hey, watch this, hey, check this out, hey, check that out, that kind of stuff. It's like again, the thought that some people have, like that certain big corporate execs have, where it's like, but we have to control everything that you see and everything that you do. It's like the creators on your platform hate this. They have always hated this.
Micromanaged to like the nth degree.
And what you're doing is just, I mean, it's not helpful to anybody, except for yourselves. Mm-hmm. And it's not even that good. Like, that's the thing, is like they don't understand. It's like
they keep chasing things. They tell us to stick to a lane, but then they change the lane itself, and they're like, oh, you guys should just know. It's like, no, you guys keep like messing things up, and I don't know where the kitchen is anymore. Like, heck.
Yeah. But then so you have some governments threatening to tell them they can't manipulate things to that extent. And then there's Canada.
We want you to manipulate things even more. Can you manipulate everything so that it benefits us the most? And then just make sure that you're manipulating things, in line with our previously agreed upon concept of blah 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 blah. And it's like,
yeah. So a lot of you may not be aware of what's going on, and like YouTube is emailing Canadian creators all over the place about this because they're concerned about it, and I agree that they have some valid concerns. Canada actually there's a bill on the table they want to regulate online broadcasting like what we're doing right now, as if, the same way that they regulate like television broadcasting and radio under the same regulatory body, which is great. Okay, it's like, great. That's what we want. We want some bureaucracy.
Yeah, for those of you who don't live in Canada and you naturally tune in all the time to watch Canadian television and Canadian produced television, Canadian television produced by the government and funded by the government. Oh, wait, you've never watched anything like that because it's all garbage? Oh, okay, well, that's what they're wanting to do again. It's and again, the arrogance and the selfishness behind this is just, it's absolutely like...
Well, and I don't think it's that they're trying to push Canadian content worldwide, but I think they might turn around and tell YouTube, okay, you must disproportionately promote Canadian content to Canadian viewers, which is, I mean, I watch all kinds of Canadian content because it's good, but I'll start watching YouTube. if I find a good YouTube channel, I don't care what country the person's in. And so, you know, I watch stuff from all over the world, and we have people watching us from all over the world.
Let people pick what they want to watch. Don't tell them what to do.
Exactly. We like this better. Stop mucking around with us, Trudeau. Is it time for Texas to annex Canada? You know, I don't know, man.
It's an idea.
I've often thought that certain parts of Canada should maybe become their own country, and I'm not talking about Quebec. And I'll just leave it at that. Because yeah, like you think we're one big country with like so many different parts of the country lean hard in a lot of different directions on things.
Yep.
And so, you know, you have people who have never set foot out of the gigantic metropolis of Ottawa making laws for like rural farmers. It's like, this doesn't make sense.
No.
Okay. Let's I don't know, talk about Game Awards stuff now?
Sure.
All right. So
many categories. Oh my gosh.
There are a lot.
So many.
31 as a matter of fact. 31 categories. Trying to put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. Here, let's make that bigger. There we go. It's on my smaller monitor, so everything is huge in there, so I'll have to scroll, but that's fine. All right, so Game of the Year, first one. Plague Tale Requiem. By the way, one of the most amazing games I've ever played. And I'm only halfway through it because this dang walkthrough that I'm making for it is taking forever because it's hugely in depth. Anyway, this game is huge, massive. The environments are so detailed and so beautiful. It's fantastic, and I can't wait. And they can do it because it's so linear and like they just have these smaller enclosed missions. The day when they can make an entire open world at that level of detail, where you don't find any like repeated buildings all over the place, everything's just kind of looks like a natural landscape. Like I was just in this area that has some houses in it, and they're all different. And there's not too many of them, but it's like you don't feel like you're just seeing a repeated asset, right?
Yeah, and we're going to start seeing like more and more of this kind of stuff. Like this is an exciting time for game development because like right now it's like this takes a lot of effort, you know, and it takes some level of like AI generation. But in the future, you're like once the AI gets good enough, it'll be able to create an entire city of unique buildings simply at a request.
Yeah.
And it's like and things will make sense and it'll flow and all this kind of stuff. Like that's very exciting. The what we're getting in AI generation right now is absolutely
so crazy.
It's so crazy. It's like every week or two there's another major advancement in this technology. And it's like we're not going to see this hit games till probably like either sometime late next year or like year after, because it's going to take time for them to build a system in which, you know, it can feed that tech into a video game. Like art right now is just they're working on 2D art. There is 3D art like coming, but there's still a lot of kinks and a lot of like
and
oddities.
They can already make 2D art that looks like a 3D render. But that's not an actual. Yeah.
Like just recently, the art, you're able to take 4 pictures from 4 separate angles, feed it in, and then the computer basically creates a 3-dimensional map of that thing, and then it can generate images from any angle. So it's like, it's coming. It's coming, and it's getting closer. But it's like this game certainly is like stepped up
it has, and it's because
it's work power in that.
It's amazing to see. I played the original back when it came out. I played through it again before playing Requiem, and I have I have read some people don't like the ending. I haven't gotten there yet. I can't comment on it. But so far, freaking amazing. Great characters, great great story, environments, all that kind of thing, and the mechanics, the combat and stuff. It's a different kind of combat. It's more strategic, less actiony, more strategic. I really like it. Anyway, we also got Elden Ring is nominated, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, another game we played, really enjoyed, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. What are your picks, and then who do you think's actually going to win? You can tell us in the chat too. And Paulie says, and later in like 10 years, you will see game trailers like, this game is made by indie studio using real artists, no AI, hard work and pure love. Support us on Kickstarter. You know, Pixar did that for a while too. They would put notes like, at least for, what's that movie about the rats? Ratatouille. They said, they put a note in the credits, genuine animation, no motion capture. Well, this was when motion capture tech was really taking off. Sorry, Seth, I cut you off there.
No, one thing that when we're talking about, like, you know, game of the year, the thing that I add in is its cultural impact as well. Like,
yeah.
You can have a game that is absolutely amazing, but if only the finest of the elite in, you know, some place that you've never heard of are the only people who play it and who are enjoying it. You know, like most of the movies that win, you know, movie of the year and yeah, that kind of stuff, and all these stupid award stuff. It's like nobody's ever heard of that ever.
Yeah.
Like, what? So yeah, things like that, problematic.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to vote for Plague Tale Requiem, just because, but not that I think my vote actually matters, because if it's the same system as previous years, then the public vote adds up to like 10% weight or something.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. But it's going to be, well...
I'm voting for Stray because cats.
Now everything else is grayed out, so I'll unvote. Stray's my second choice. But that's partly because, you know, I haven't had the chance to play Elden Ring yet, or God of War Ragnarok, but I'm pretty sure one of those two will actually take it.
Yeah. My vote's going to be for Elden Ring. And the puppies are barking, parting the puppies. So I'm gonna go for Elden Ring, and the primary reason for that is that's the it's the thing that's had the biggest impact. It may not have the best like the high resolution graphics that God of War does, or the amazing storytelling that Plague Tale does. In its own way, though, but the cultural impact of that game is ridiculous. The number of people who bought it, who played it. I would never give Game of the Year to a game that's on a single console and that's not available in other places. Like
that's part of why I lean away from God of War Ragnarok, and Horizon Forbidden West.
And it's just like
it's not accessible to people, then it's like it doesn't have the full scope.
Yeah.
But I mean, then on the other hand, then you're excluding all Nintendo games, which
from Game of the Year, absolutely, because
fair enough.
They like the arrogance of just the arrogance of like hey, you have to play this thing on our console, period. Or else, like, it just doesn't make sense.
No. Anyway, I don't care if I'm throwing my vote away. I'm voting for that one.
No, I get it. It is a really
that was a reply to Shua. Okay, where's the next category? There was a next. Oh, there it is. Yeah, best game direction. Let's see here. So we got Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Immortality, and Stray. I've not heard of this one. Immortality.
Stray! I'm voting all for Stray.
Everything for Stray?
Because I just love that game.
Immortality by Half Mermaid. What is this game? Marissa Marcel was a film star. She made 3 movies, but none of the movies were ever released, and Marissa Marcel disappeared. Her interactive trilogy from Sam Barlow, the creator of Her Story. I mean, sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of this though. I think
it's an interesting game.
It was on my wish list.
Yeah, it's a unique thing, but I like best game direction. Like, it's like So as far as innovation, like, the best in-game design, like innovation in game direction and design. Well, that's not Forbidden West because it didn't really evolve past the previous game.
No.
It's a good second game, don't get me wrong, but it didn't innovate very much on top of what it had in the previous game. And you could say the same a lot for God of War. You can also say the same thing for Elden Ring in this case, because they are all, games that have come out before. And if you were talking about the first one, or if you were talking about Horizon, the first game, probably would fit into this category.
Mm-hmm.
The first Dark Souls would definitely fit in this category. But because these games are just they're continuations of that, and they have made improvements, significant improvements in some cases, but not perfect in others, then you have to look at it and you say, okay, well, look here. I think what we can say is that I think this category, the only 2 that are actually on this list that actually deserve to be on this list, are Stray and Immortality, because these are the only 2 games that you had other games that were kind of like this before, but this is actually doing something new before. You've never, correct me if I'm wrong, I cannot remember a single game in which your main character that you play through the entire thing was a cat or a dog.
Or any kind of at least, I'm trying to think.
And so that innovation in and of itself puts these 2 games above the previous titles, and not as much for Immortality as I think for Stray. So this one for Stray gets this one for me for sure, because the innovation of playing as a cat
with real cat sounds,
and real cat concepts,
and very accurate cat mechanics.
That puts this game above, for sure. And I would say 100% deserves this, and I really hope they win this. I hope it's not God of War, because this time you have a battle axe, and the battle axe, it doesn't act like the previous weapons in the God of War series, because it swings ever so slightly different, on a 5 percentile thing. It's like,
no, she was right though. She was right. Stray, basically a ripoff of Sim Ant.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think you've had little cartoony 2D platformers and stuff where you play as an animal or whatever. But where they actually bring you down, to have a realistic, in terms of physics and stuff, not in terms of the world necessarily, but third-person platforming adventure kind of game like this, where you're brought down to the actual scale of the cat, and
you can jump on all the things like a cat.
Go through the closest I can think of is in one of the Jedi games, where you could plug into the computer and control one of the droids for a little while. And I remember doing that and being like, "Whoa, this is weird. I'm so small," and I could come up to the people's feet and stuff. So that's the closest I can think of. Anyway, it was a very unique game. Let's see. Best narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Oh. Again, can only go. Stray's not on here. Stray had a pretty good story. Plague Tale has a very good story. Again, haven't seen the end of it. I don't know. What are your picks for these? It is tough not knowing the stories, because I haven't had the ability to. It's don't have a PlayStation. Don't want a PlayStation. Can't play these two.
I
No.
can't have 5 consoles just so I can have an opinion on these.
Yeah.
But I would say probably Plague Tale.
That's where I'll throw my vote. Just because, and again, maybe Immortality is amazing. I just have, unfortunately,
It seems like a very linear, like, visual novel game to me, honestly, because, like, I did see the trailers for it. I am interested in it, but at the same time, it's like...
But when you're
it's
talking
a
about
vi-
narrative, you know, that's
Yeah.
like there are parts of Plague Tale as well that are sort of linear visual novel parts, and then it also changes it up with like the strategic exploration, combat, and stealth sections. Elden Ring, I mean, again, I believe Elden Ring to be quite an amazing game. I want to play it. I've never heard people be like, "Oh, you got to play Elden Ring because it has an amazing story."
Well,
Right.
the story in Elden Ring, and there was a bit of controversy about this because they're like, "There's no story in Elden Ring." The story in Elden Ring is told through a lot of different, especially boss mechanics, and it's done so in an artistic way that, for sure, a lot of people don't get.
Hmm.
And that definitely does a disservice to the game, but it is what it is. It's like again, it goes back to the Transformers conversation that we're having. It's like, yeah, you could try and like cater to, a different thing, but then it's not what it is anymore. It's something different. It's something that's not uh, it's something that's trying to be something else.
Mhm.
Right.
And that's not good. Like, it's not good when something is pretending to be something else that
Yeah.
it's not. It's either a sellout, or it's a fake, or it's a fraud, or it's something that's dangerous, and you have to be very careful of it. It's like in the insect world. You meet a wasp that looks like a wasp, but it's not a wasp, or a fly that looks like a fly, but it's not actually a fly. Those are all dangerous things that are preying on something. And so you artistically, you kind of have to like motion that too. Elden Ring is not meant to be Game of Thrones. It's meant to be the story, and the narrative that you experience is something you experience through the gameplay, literally through the gameplay.
Yeah.
One of the final bosses in it morphs and changes throughout the boss fight into what essentially you were in the first Dark Souls, what the players were in the first Dark Souls, and playing through that in the way that they did the fight. It's very unique, and it's this experience that it's this thing that it's so hard to put into words, but people it's like ASMR. It's like trying to describe this auditory response thing that you've got, that to somebody who doesn't understand it. It's like it's just too difficult. It's hard enough to put it into words when people understand it. And that's where the narrative is. And that is why it does belong here,
Hmm.
because it is unique, and it is different, and it is very, very special.
Hmm.
And that's a good thing.
So what's your vote, Seb?
For this, I would actually say probably Plague Tale, just because the narrative in that is more gripping, and is
Mhm.
easier to understand. I will
Yeah.
say that while I believe there is strong narrative in Elden Ring, and obviously the other two games, and a special call out to God of War, because that narrative is it's a very good narrative, but it is very common, right? Like the and it's so is the one in Plague Tale. They're both family oriented stories, and they were both done really, really well. But I think the overall emotion is stronger and more commonplace.
What really grips me about Plague Tale is the connection between Amicia and Hugo. Like you play as Amicia, the older sister, and just the bond she has with her little brother, who is just
Yeah,
such a fun.
and
Kid
that's not
characters in
done
games are
enough.
often um, like so often kids in games, child characters are like just annoying, and it's like get them off the screen. He's so well done, like,
and that's where they really nail it. The
Yeah.
father son duo is a staple
yeah,
and is a pillar in good story writing. And God of War really, like, I think they've done it an exceptionally good job. Bark, 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 bark. Oh my, they're so upset. But when it comes down to the experience, when it comes down to the actual, like, the rarity of it, it's harder to find that older sister looking after a younger brother, and then the unique bond that is. Whereas, like, even the older brother looking after a younger sister, that's more common, that's more understandable. But the older sister looking after the younger brother, that's different entirely, because it's not the mother son dynamic. It's different, and that is something that is very unique. So I definitely think that it's totally deserves this, and it's probably not going to win it because it is more nuanced than a lot of other than most of the other stuff that we find.
The next we got Best Art Direction, and this is a tough one for me. For outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design. Your dogs are just upset that Stray is getting nominated for so many things.
Yeah, I know. Can you go distract
Get
them
that cat game off the screen. Best art direction we've got Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Scorn, and Stray. And I feel like, in artistic design and animation. Well, I think there's a lot of deserving choices here. But I mean, like, when I look at God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring, I mean, their art styles are good. They don't jump out at me as like necessarily outstanding or over the top. At least maybe it's just that they're not very unique. Scorn and Stray both went in very unique directions. Now, I don't particularly like the direction that Scorn went in, but it's definitely creative. You can't deny that. I don't do body horror, so it's not a game that I'm willing to play.
You don't like it when your fist becomes a knob, and then the knob gets reformed into an axe, and then the axe gets reformed into a third eyeball that not something that you're into. Oh, that's
well,
weird.
It depends on definitely, like, if
I mean,
my arm could become like.
I'm just pointing out that's so that's so in, like, I can't wait until we can get our own body modifications like that. It's good stuff. I'm obviously being facetious.
Yeah. I mean, if it was an Inspector Gadget thing where I was like, could turn my arm into an axe and just
No, it is definitely an acquired taste.
Yeah.
It is definitely not something that you encounter and that you would like actually grow to like. Like, this is not a normal thing. I totally understand, totally get that. A lot of people.
I kind of like. I wish I'd had the chance to play Elden Ring, God of War, and Horizon Forbidden West. Unfortunately, two of them are on PlayStation, and Elden Ring I just haven't had time for yet.
Yeah.
Because they're
in this one, just because the oddity of it, I'm gonna give it to Elden Ring, because the world and the thing is, like, there is a lot of emptiness in Elden Ring, but that's intentional, and it's done well. Like, it visually looks like, this is supposed to be a lonely, torn place, and it does that, and it feeds that very, very well. And then some of the boss fights, like the whale, the space whale, the main female boss type character. I can't remember her name for the life of me. Definitely all something that I would look at normally, and I'd be like, yeah, that's really good. Like, that's not something that you typically see, and I think that's cool. I think that's fine.
Well, I mean, those Souls-like games, they do have often some very unique bosses.
Yeah,
I
and
do like
and
that.
the characters themselves, like, oh my goodness, yeah, that definitely takes the cake.
I'm gonna give it to Stray because sorry.
No, I'm saying, like, I would give it to Elden Ring, but I think Stray and God of War and Horizon, these are all, like, all of these games are all strong,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
including Scorn.
It's not a question. We're like debating like which one just pushes a little bit above the rest. I think. Mad King, hey, how's it going? Moon,
Mad
you're
King.
going with Stray, I'm guessing.
Well,
In best art
yeah,
direction.
Stray, because like between Stray and Scorn, I have yet to play Scorn, but it's definitely is like it's one of the games I want to play because just I enjoy that genre.
I will leave it to
But-
you then. I was just telling Saib how much I despise. I can't do that.
I like spooky games.
I can't. Is that I know spooky games. I'm very much looking forward to that one we saw at the, what event was that? The one with the demonic train that chases you around and tries to kill you. I could do like scary games, but the body horror stuff, I just no. Scorn is just too bleh for me. But anyway, you were saying.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, Stray all the way because cats. Because like I really love like just the whole design of the environment is very like friendly towards cat-like exploration.
The design of the robots has really clinched it for me. The robot people.
I also really like the robots too. Yeah, they all had like slightly different designs and personalities, and just like the way they evolved, and just just really well done.
And the way the faces, like that, their faces were the screens and would like emote and stuff.
Yes.
And but yeah, they had their unique personalities. Okay, best score and music. Well, let's see here. Plague Tale, Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Metal Hellsinger, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Another tough one.
I would definitely give this one to Metal Hellsinger because I mean the amount of times that we get like metal in a game at all is like really rare.
If that's the I mean, that game is all about soundtrack, right? If it's the one I'm thinking of,
and the whole thing is based around that. You can play elements of the games with the sound turned off, and you're missing a good background experience, but you're not missing the core of the game, whereas Metal Hellsinger is actually the core of the game.
There's just a snippet of it there. That sounds pretty awesome. Yeah, I would agree with you on that, yeah. Moon?
Yes, I would agree too because metal.
And because
just,
Stray
like,
is not
it's got,
on
like that oomph to it. Yeah, also Stray is not on there, but just like the oomph that metal music has really enhances the experience overall, especially if done well.
Yeah.
Like,
all right, best audio design. Let's see here. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Wait, which Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2?
right?
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 1 or Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2 or Call of Two Duties in Warfare with the Modern 2. Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Gran Turismo 7, and Horizon Forbidden West. I feel like there's a game missing from this list that should have been on here. What's the game I played this year that had just absolutely amazing sound design? Where the sound was like part of the mechanic of the game. Also, I'm surprised. Where are the horror games on here? There's like... Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what to pick here. COD visually is stunning. Yeah, I believe that. Call of Duty, I mean, it's easy to pick on because it's so ubiquitous that...
right.
I'm sure it has great sound design.
Well, I don't have enough data to pick God of War or Horizon Forbidden West, so I'm going with Elden Ring.
I'm going to go with that one too. It's kind of a blind choice for me, but... Best performance. Okay, let's see here. We got Ashley Birch. Is that a typo, or does her name not have the E? Ashley Birch.
I don't believe it has the E. I've never like. I hope I'm not wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how I remember it. Because I used to, so I was following Ashley Birch when they had less than 10,000 subs on YouTube, and there she was still like this young kid sister of this game developer who decided to make a YouTube channel for fun. It's like, yeah,
Whoops, what did
I've been following them
didn't mean
for
to
a
click that.
long time.
All right, we've got Ashley Birch for Horizon Forbidden West, Charlotte McBurney, Plague Tale Requiem, Christopher Judge, God of War Ragnarok, Manon Gage for Immortality, and then Sonny Soljic for God of War Ragnarok. So that's, I'm guessing, the father and the son.
Yeah. This one I'm gonna throw it to. I hummed and hawed about this for a while, but I'm throwing this definitely to Christopher Judd. He really does deserve this, and he's he is exceptional at his craft. Every single line, like you can pull apart a ton of lines from all of these people doing all the lines, and you get an amazing experience with a lot of them, with most of them.
Yeah.
It's like with most of them, it's like, wow, that's a very well done. This is very well done. This is very good. I really enjoy this. But it's every line that Christopher Judge says and does gives like shivers down my spine.
Mhm.
Like whereas that's not true for a lot of the other characters. Again, not saying that they're not as good as he, or that they didn't do a good job. It's just that what he does is like he is an absolute master in his craft.
He's on another
100%.
level.
Yeah,
He
is.
and that is a rare thing, because I would say out of all of the voice people that I've ever seen or worked with, he's definitely in the top 5 for voice work of. And I'm me, I spend a lot of time going over and listening to audio work. It's some of the it's some of the most important stuff in any video game. And so when I hear Chris deliver a line and it's good, it's like it's good. It's good. There's absolutely, it is absolutely fantastic. And that's the kind of story, that's the kind of thing, that's the kind of skill that you always want, and is like just absolutely stunning in every level. And so yeah, he's got my vote like locked.
I'm inclined to agree.
So good.
I think well, Charlotte McBurney did a pretty dang good job in Plague Tale
Amazing.
Requiem. Her performance wasn't the strongest I've seen, as far as like, it's good. It's just not.
Yeah, and sometimes it's the role too. Like that's the other thing. It's like shoot, what's his name? The guy who played Tyrion in Game of Thrones. It's like he did the role for the first Destiny game, and the first Destiny game was good as a concept, but the directing and the supplanting it, just not good. just what the direction on it was just not good. And it's not saying, oh well, it was his voice acting, like his acting ruined the role. It's like nah, the directing ruined the role on that, not the
well, kind of like it's kind of like what's his face as Anakin Skywalker. Because I've seen him in other movies, and he can actually act. But like, everyone was terrible in the Star Wars prequels. Okay, I'm inclined to agree about that one. Games for Impact. Let's see here. Bunch of stuff none of us have ever played, I'm sure. Memoir Blue.
Haven't played that.
As Dusk Falls. Citizen Sleeper. Endling. Extinction is Forever. Hindsight. And I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. Okay.
I've not played any of these.
Saab, do you have any experience with these ones?
They're all interesting. they're all like what they're doing, what they're offering, what they're trying to give. They're all good. I think Endling is probably the best because it's like you're playing as a fox with a fox family, and
Aww.
it's like yeah,
I'm voting
exactly.
it for the animals.
See, that's the one my eye was drawn to because it's like what was Seasons After Autumn, or no, what's that game called? Yeah, stylized animal game. It definitely always catches my interest.
Shota wants to vote for the foxes too. He
Yes.
knows their doggos.
Ah, yes. Best ongoing. Awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. What do we got here? Apex Legends, Destiny 2. Man, this list seems familiar. It's like almost as if it's the same list as last year.
Same list as
Apex
last year.
Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Genshin Impact.
I say Final Fantasy because I like Final Fantasy. I'm tired of like the gotcha stuff in Genshin. Like as much as I love the style and the story.
The story
just-
in Genshin, like I've said before, like if Genshin had like simplified and like just given like a base subscription service instead of all the gotcha BS.
I hate
garbage.
the gotcha BS.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
annoying.
and you could definitely have like multiple tiers of that. You could have like the where you get one, you get one free character every week. You one free poll every week. And then you get the upgraded one that gives you like 3 or whatever. It's not a PvP game, so it's like that makes sense to me, and Shota agrees. I would say for sure, hands down, Genshin Impact would be one of the best games, like just straight up. But because of that stupid microtransaction, like making you bleed for all that money constantly, and there's no way around it. It's like it can go. No, I'm not giving it an award for anything.
No.
So which one do you want to give this to?
Fortnite, I think Fortnite is their evolving player experience is phenomenal. The fact that it's been going so strong for so long and that it continues to just be a really epic thing. And then Final Fantasy, the latest game was amazing, or the latest expansion was amazing. And what made it even better was that that they've been starting to push themselves in directions that their fans have been asking, saying, hey, we really want more end game, like hard content. And the fact that they've been like doing that and experimenting with that, congratulations, they definitely made the list. I really think they probably win it because they're doing things that they haven't done before, and they're pushing themselves in new directions that they weren't always comfortable with, and they're doing it well. So I would say Final Fantasy gets my vote because they're learning to evolve in the right direction, and that's always a good thing.
Okay, Arturo in the chat, how's it going?
Hey,
Welcome.
Arturo.
We're back. We are back. Let's see here. Best indie game. Ooh, okay. Cult of the Lamb, Neon White,
Yes, Cult of the Lamb.
Sifu, Stray, and Tunic. Oh my goodness, this is a tough one. So, the only one I'm not familiar with is Neon White.
That one's like a card selection shooty. Very pretty stylistic.
Card selection shooty game. Interesting. Tunic. I'm familiar with the concept of Tunic. I've really been wanting to play it, but again, it's one of those ones I haven't had time to. Yeah.
Right.
Cult of the Lamb, you've played, I know, Moon and
Yes.
Stray.
Oh my gosh, so fun.
So which one gets your vote then?
I've spent a lot more time on Cult of the Lamb because like it's kind of like what do you call it? It's kind of like Hades, where like you keep running through the dungeon and it's like different each time and you get different weapons.
A roguelike, yeah.
And you also get a base management. You get to manage your cult and provide for all your members.
Okay.
So it's like it's nice. It's got like a combination of like two things that I like,
So-
where it's like hack and slash plus base management.
And it's
Which I
it's a longer experience then too. 'Cause, like Stray is done in 3 hours, and it's got some replay value, but it's once you're done, you're kind of done.
Right? But it's like Cult of the Lamb, like I'm only beat 2 of the 5 bosses, right now, and I'm like trying to level up so I can like take on the third one, and it's
Yeah.
very, very fun, and I'm very, very amused with all my little cultists. They're very funny, and they're all different animals.
So for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. So are we saying that Devolver and Annapurna are not part of the traditional publisher system? I'm just curious what makes them distinct. I mean, I know they're smaller publishers, like they specialize in publishing indie games. Anyway, Saib, what's your pick for best indie game?
Again, it kind of falls into that. You've got to have heard of it. It's got to be like groundbreaking. Stray gets it for me on this one, and again, I really hope they get it because they definitely deserved it.
Go for Stray.
I think.
Because
well, I'm voting Stray. Although I think Cult of the Lamb and Tunic also probably deserve it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Best mobile game. Oh boy, I'm gonna have no opinion about. Well, that's not true.
Almost.
I might just go by process of elimination here. Diablo Immortal, no. Genshin Impacts, no. Marvel Snap.
What do you mean? Diablo Immortal was amazing.
Marvel
Diablo
Snap,
Immortal.
no. Apex Legends Mobile, no. Well, maybe. I don't know. Tower of Fantasy. I don't know much about Tower of Fantasy.
So, out of all of these, the clear winner for me is Tower of Fantasy.
I think you were telling me about it. That's why it sounds familiar.
I'm not playing it as much
PC,
because
though.
the microtransactions are getting to me, and they're not as bad as Genshin, but they're definitely in that category of bad. You know, again, it's like, how much money can you spend in Apex Legends? Like reasonably. You want to get all the things, right? Like you want to get all the things. You can spend in Apex Legend. You could spend like $5 to $10,000 to get all the things.
Wow.
How much to get all the things in Genshin Impact? About 40 to 50K.
Good night. Seriously?
Marvel Snap. I don't know. I haven't played it. I haven't touched it. I have no idea.
I've seen the ads for it and they really annoy me. So
yeah, Diablo Immortal. How much of the things how much money do you spend in Diablo Immortal? A shocking $120,000 to $150,000.
Too much.
To get all the things.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just for one season. Because basically everything almost resets every season. So you could just you can spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, you can spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in all of these games because they do have an infinite, but I'm talking about like to get all of the things, not to collect everything, not to get every single outfit but to get all the things that are like logically and reasonably like make sense to get.
Yeah.
How much in Tower of Fantasy? Like right now, probably like 3K, 2K maybe. So again, you can spend infinitely in all of these games.
Yeah.
You can just keep on buying. But there's a point where there's no return on your purchases, and you would have to be you'd have to be an absolute fucking idiot, pardon the language, to put that money into it. It's like this we get this, and that's the category that I'm using. And again, 3K, that's ridiculous. That's stupid. Don't do that. Don't do that for any of these.
That is still an insane amount of money.
The fact that you can spend $50,000 in Genshin Impact and not get everything, or just barely get everything, that's insane. The fact that you can spend $150,000 in Diablo Immortal, that's just, that's another level of
no kidding.
disgust.
Polly's in the chat says, vote Diablo, Diablo Immortal, best game ever, sell your kidney so you can level up your one character halfway.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you have two kidneys.
Right?
All right, see you, Paulies. Thanks for
bad.
hanging out. I'm going to skip this category, but I was listening to Maximum News on the Triple S Podcasts channel. Subscribe over there to hear our weekly news show with Obsidian and Max Darrett, who is another fantastic content creator in this space that we work with. He's become part of the team here, but he also, he does his own thing as well on his channel. But yeah, he
has an amazing channel.
He's got a really good channel, and he does a really amazing job with Cybe on Maximum News on our podcasts channel. So check that out. Yeah, he was saying. So you guys were talking about how Callisto Protocol has a season pass. How does a single player game have a season pass? That baffles me.
Well,
interesting.
This is not the first time this has happened.
Well, maybe I just blocked it out because it was such. I was like, does not compute.
Well, no, there's the same is true for that Ubisoft Viking game.
Yeah.
I cannot remember. Now they don't have I don't know if they have a season pass, but they have a thing that functions like a season pass, and that's not good. It's just collectively, this is not good when you have this kind of stuff. It's very unhealthy. It's very problematic to have this kind of stuff, to force it down people's throats, to be like, oh wow, you're gonna have to, if you want to do anything here, you're gonna have to do this. It's like, no, please, no. It's just not good to be headed in this direction. I really worry about what we're going to be seeing in the next few years. I am very, very concerned.
I just realized we haven't seen Dying Light 2 anywhere, which kind of surprises me. It was a pretty good game. Okay.
It's good, yeah.
Best community support. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates and patches.
Who thought you'd ever see No Man's Sky on this list?
No kidding, hey?
If you experience day one, which I have to say, I tried to get my money back for that game, and I was told flat out, nope, we got you, sucker. It's like, I would never have imagined that it would get on here. I'm still not going to vote for it.
No.
I am not voting for this. I am not. No. But that said, I do believe that it's not, that it is getting better, and other people should give it a chance if they like that kind of a game. It's better than they've done. They've gone so far in repairing the mistakes that they did initially, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a case of bad first impression. You don't get a second chance at a first impression, and there's enough new stuff coming out that to go back to a game that's that old now.
My vote is Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy, yeah. Okay.
Because I'm a huge fan.
Well, that and the that's just coming as a collective agreement from everybody who is playing that game. Yeah, it is something that has largely been a very good success and continues to be so, and everybody raves about their customer service, the quality of their customer service, and the experience that you get. So again, just judging on the community aspect, and I hear a ton. I hear more about Final Fantasy than I hear about any other game, and we have a lot of people in our community that do play it from time to time. So I like it, and everybody's I've never heard a bad customer service story about this game at all, period. Just I mean, again, its initial release was pretty terrible, but basically everybody got fired. It was funny. I was reviewing one of the first Western interviews about the game. This was ages ago. This was almost at the beginning of this was almost pre-YouTube, almost. And they were talking to the original creator of the original game, which they trashed that whole thing, built it over again from scratch with a new engine. And they did that in 2 years. It was crazy. But at any rate, they were talking to the guy, the original director behind it. And he was like, this guy was asking him, are we going to get jumping in the game? Jumping's really important to a lot of people. You want jumping? It's not needed, so we're not putting it in. You don't need it because how stupid are you that you need to jump? Like, this is a Western video game thing. You don't get to make this request. And it was just like, oh wow, I see where you're. Wow, yeah, just oof. That is rough. That is one of the worst answers you could possibly give anybody. Just zero concern for your customer service.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, and I mean, the guy was fired. He was basically disgraced. So yeah, not a thing anymore.
So next category is innovation and accessibility, and I found an article explaining what are the innovations that these games made. So that'll help a bit here.
Yeah.
As Dusk Falls goes beyond simple subtitling. The features that it includes are text-to-speech and speech-to-text settings, which go above and beyond simple subtitling, allowing menu, gameplay, and text chat to be read aloud by a screen reader. It also allows for a speech-to-text function that transcribes audio chat between players. Okay. Oh, so that's multiplayer. Okay.
Yeah.
God of War.
Pretty good innovation.
Yeah,
I
like that. I like that.
Yeah. Again, I don't think it's necessarily like it is groundbreaking. I'm not gonna poo-poo on it. I think it's very good, like brilliant.
God of War offers apparently a wide variety of things, including navigation assist, controller remapping, high contrast presets, extend timers for puzzles, so difficulty things.
Mm-hmm.
It offers because of the number of options, it offers 4 presets prioritizing vision accessibility, hearing accessibility, motion reduction, and motor accessibility. And plus 5 different difficulty settings. Okay. Yeah. So lots of stuff.
Brilliant. I have to say on their part, really amazing work. The fact that they've opened this up so much.
Oh, it's fantastic. I think
yeah.
Options are never bad.
Yep.
So, the Return to Monkey Island. What are these?
It's a point and click game.
Yeah. Various accessibility options, video interface, and text and language. Video category includes motion and distortion effects, as well as render quality, interface, options that change the size and appearance of text. Text and language category provides players with subtitle and dialogue options, in addition to interesting and innovative options like Previously On and Writer's Cut, the latter of which adds hundreds of extra dialogue to the game. Well, that doesn't seem like an accessibility option. That's a cool feature, but okay, these seem, for Return to Monkey Island, these seem pretty commonplace. Like, they're good things to have, but I've seen so many games that have exactly all of this stuff. Last of Us Part 1 makes a masterpiece accessible to more players. Various alternative color control options, including controller remapping, input changes for holds and presses, aiming assistant lock-ons, more magnification and visual aids, adjusting for motion sickness, navigation and traversal assistance for vision-impaired players, combat accessibility, text-to-speech, and more. So some more unique stuff, but a lot of commonplace stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Quarry. It allows players to change the settings related to timed events and choices. It's include having no time limit, making the quick time events always succeed, and extending interrupt timers. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't seem all that innovative to me. So I would have to go with like the speech to text and stuff. That's new to me. The stuff in the As Dusk Falls. I think I'd give this one to God of War Ragnarok though, just because of the huge variety of stuff and giving the presets that have are geared in different directions. Yeah. That's what I would go with. All right, best VR or AR. Giving you because I haven't played. I want to play it though. Red Matter 2, Moss Book 2, Bone Lab, Among Us VR, and After the Fall.
So like Moss
mean,
Book 2, adorable.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Among Us VR, I feel like would be very popular.
I think so. I've seen some streamers I follow been playing it. I just haven't had the chance to watch them yet. Ugh. That's what happens when you try to do too many things.
Mm-hmm.
All the things.
All the things. By the way, those of you watching live, feel free to let us know your thoughts in the chat as well. I don't know, Among Us VR, I guess.
Yeah, I would
Best-
say Among Us VR because like most people recognize it.
Best action game, Turtles. Giving it to Turtles.
Oh,
I'm surprised. Okay,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
again, where the heck is where's Dying Light 2? Like,
That's a very good question.
it's nowhere.
It's not one of those weird things where it's like, oh, it's not going to be out this year. It's going to be out next year for the next year thing, is it?
Oh, look, we got a sex bot in the chat.
I love.
Splat.
Does that mean we made it? Let's see here. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Dying Light 2 came out in February, so I would think it was this year. It's very strange that we haven't seen it at all, because it should at least be in the best action game category, unless like these games are just like, I'm not saying it is a, you know, by any stretch a perfect game or worthy of game of the year, but the parkour stuff in that game is fantastic.
Well, like I said, it's not one of those weird scenarios where it's actually not out this year. It's next year, is it? Which is silly. Or was it the previous year? Was it last year?
It came out in February, as far as if I recall. Let's see here. Dying Light 2 release date, February 4th, 2022. Yeah.
So it should be, I think.
Very strange.
But that's weird.
Oh well. I'm going to have to give this one to the Turtles game, because that one looked
Yes.
super fun and like a nice throwback to
Mm-hmm.
them's old ones. Best action adventure. Combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. There's like no combat in Stray. What are you talking about?
But you get chased by those things
Yeah.
and you explode them with the flashlight.
There are those.
Technically.
Oh, I guess. Yeah, I guess you could
combat.
call that a combat.
And
scenario.
it gets very hairy. I'm actually stuck at one part that I'm trying to get by, but I keep getting overcome, and it's very sad every time I die.
It is so sad where the cat dies and gets eaten, because you know the cat gets eaten a few minutes after the fades to black.
Yep.
Got to go with Plague Tale on this one, because it's got such a unique combat aspect to it, using the sling and the alchemy in that game. They're just your sling is not just a combat tool, but it's also a you can fling you can make this thing called ignifer, which sets things on fire. So you can put out lanterns, light lanterns, you can set grass on fire, and a whole bunch of other, like, there's just the way you can mix and match things and make things happen in that game is fantastic. So they give you a ton of options for traversing areas, and there's actually 3 different experience points pools based on how you go through it. So plus the combat's unique. It's like, okay, yeah, you just beam people in the head with a rock, with your sling, and you're good. Oh, wait a minute, those guys are wearing helmets now. What do I do? And then, I got a crossbow now. Oh, but now that guy's wearing body armor. So I gotta find the latch on his armor to knock it off with my sling, and then shoot him with the crossbow. It's just got. I love the stuff they added into that game. I don't know. What do you guys? I should ask. What do you guys think for best action adventure game?
Probably the same.
Yeah.
Like, in all honesty, it's it's about being new and different. I would say that God of War is exceptional, but so is Horizon Forbidden West, but those aren't available to the vast majority of players. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And Tunic again, I really do want to play it. It looks like a cute sort of Zelda-like
Right.
with,
Mm-hmm.
you know, kind of that isometric view. And
Yeah.
Stray was really good, but I got to give this one to Plague Tale. Best role-playing game. What do we got here? Elden Ring, Live Alive, Live Alive, Live Alive, Live Alive, Live Alive. I don't know how the heck you're supposed to say that.
Live Alive.
Live Alive. Okay. Pokemon Legends Arceus, Triangle Strategy, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. For the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. What do you think?
So I haven't played any of the Nintendo ones.
Hmm.
So there's one problem.
Yes. Yeah, that's the same problem as we have with the PlayStation.
Right.
I don't know.
It's triangle.
Yeah, it's one of these. This is a tricky one. Because again, I haven't been able to get to most of these, and yeah, Triangle Strategy. I hear good things from it. I also hear Xenoblades is good. But Elden Ring I would also put in that list of like really good. I don't know anything about Live Alive.
Mm-hmm.
How much like what kind of a role playing experience is Elden Ring? Like,
well, you're playing a character that you get to define and refine as a character pretty in depthly.
Yeah.
So I would say probably better than most actually.
Really?
Like,
well, because I mean, there's a lot of games like you can call an RPG that are not.
You get to customize your combat experience in enormous ways, and I will always say that is better than doing this the light like oh, we have character customization. It's like you get to pick like their hair color and that's about it. It's like I've seen games like that and I hate games like that.
Yeah.
I really do. It's like,
It's
oh
like,
yeah,
wow,
we have
it's
an
so
in-depth character customize. Oh really? What kind of customizations can you do? Oh well, you can be you can choose to do stuff and things and things and stuff and
Yep.
yeah, that's about it. It's
like Steel Rising. The choices in that game were abysmal.
Yeah.
Very, very low.
And so because of that, it's like I don't call those things character creators. Never would. They're just not.
Hey, we're getting down to the wire as far as time here, so let's kind of rocket through these.
I don't think we have very much else left.
Best. There's 13 more categories.
Sports
Best fighting.
Yeah, but we're not doing it.
Best fighting games. There's sorry, let me mute that. We got Sifu, Multiversus, King of Fighters 15. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, All-Star, and then DNF. I don't know. Like, Multiversus is like a Smash kind of thing. That's not Smash. It's like other characters. Warner Brothers stuff.
Extremely racist. That's according to themselves. I didn't make that accusation. They said it themselves.
Oh.
What?
So, well, yeah, because they had they had the Thelma. Thelma.
Oh. Yeah.
Her special ability was she called the cops, and the cops came out and then would arrest you and take you away. And that was incredibly racist. They said, no, because in every single Scooby adventure, It doesn't end with, the cops coming, discovering that it was actually Mr. Johnson this whole time, and actually he's the guy who was posing as a ghost, and the cops take him away for attempted fraud. No, 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 no. Now it's better that a bunch of young teenagers beat the people up, put them in their van, and take them away. Yeah, because that's just so much better in every way, shape, and form.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
Let me guess. Was there a Kotaku article about it?
Yeah, I think there was a Kotaku article about it.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Actually, I think it was a Polygon one, but I'm not sure.
Next,
it's so dumb.
Well, yeah. Best family game: Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, Mario and Rabbids Spark of Hope, Nintendo Switch Sports, and Splatoon 3. Well, I mean, that's a tough choice. I've played three of these with my kids.
I know if. Oh, okay. Well, I'm like, if I had kids, I would be playing like, I don't know, probably Splatoon with them, because that's just fun to
Splatoon seems.
I'd be playing Kirby.
Kirby was.
I like Kirby.
Kirby was really
I've
good.
not played it.
Kirby was really good. They were trying to go in kind of a Mario Odyssey direction with Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, and I would say it's not as good as Mario Odyssey, but it's pretty good. We played the Lego, I played the Lego Star Wars Saga with my kids. They loved it. I just found I got bored really fast. Like, I had fun because they were having fun, right?
Okay.
And we would laugh at stuff. But the gameplay was, for me, it was boring. But it's obviously it's a game for kids and families and stuff, and like it's a game for your 3-year-old to play, kind of thing. So I don't know, the and Mario and Rabbids, that always seemed like a weird matchup to me. I mean, obviously it works. It's that there's a second game for it now, so
it's funny. I like it.
yeah, it is funny.
I like the strategy behind it too.
Switch Sports, I mean, I love the I haven't tried Switch Sports, but I do have lots of great memories playing Wii Sports. I'm going to vote for Kirby and move on here, but, I mean, lots of good choices there. Best sim or strategy game, we got Dune Spice Wars, 2 Point Campus, Total War, Warhammer 3, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, and Victoria 3.
Again, I have not played any of these.
Yeah.
Dune is shaping up to be really good, but I've heard a lot of good things about Total War, so I would not be surprised either way with that.
Okay, we'll skip
Dune just had a big update. They've finally got spaceships and flying vessels in it, so yeah, it looks again. I would say it's good. I would say it's interesting. I would say it's great.
All right, we're going to skip Best Multiplayer and Best Sports Game. Content Creator of the Year, Ludwig, Carl Jacobs, Nibelian, Nabru, and QT Cinderella. QT Cinderella.
That's hard to say.
It's very hard to say.
Yeah.
Best debut indie. Oh, we can vote in this category. Best debut indie game: Neon White, Norco, Stray, Tunic, or Vampire Survivors. Vampire Survivors.
Vampire Survivors. Yeah. I would say the one dude making this in his basement, absolutely phenomenal, man. Keep it up.
Where are these sex bots coming from? Go away.
Yeah,
that's just YouTube. YouTube doing YouTube things. It's so great, isn't it? We have to put up with this garbage all the time.
Best adaptation. Okay. This is going to be a tough one. Arcane, League of Legends, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, The Cuphead Show, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, or Uncharted. Well,
yeah, this is
definitely not that one.
I watched 4 of these, and I think my most favorite is Arcane, with Edge Runners as like a close behind.
Yeah.
Because like just the way that they did Edge Runners is like it's a good standalone kind of thing, which gives you like a little bit of a window into the game. But like the problem is the game was crap So I'm just like, meh. I'm like a little apathetic about it. So I enjoyed it as a standalone thing. But what they did with Arcane, with like all of like the interweaving and the environment building and the story building, it was just mwah, chef's kiss. Like just
Yeah,
Arcane.
I'm gonna give it to Arcane, and then yeah, I can't believe it. I'm kind of surprised that Uncharted
Arcane
is on there.
Yeah. Um, Terrible. But no, Arcane. I mean, Studio Trigger with Edge Runners, really solidly good. But oh my goodness, Arcane is just like, and the shame is that
water.
I would say out of like video game series, like which is the best, I would put Arcane at number 1, and then like in all time, and I would put Edge Runners at number 2. So that's the difficulty of that. Hopefully, I say this. Hopefully, I cross my fingers. I pray to anything. Let the video game gods be appeased. Please let the Fallout TV show not be garbage.
Yeah, there we go.
Let it be the best show and easily replace The Witcher, the Arcane, everything. Just let it be the best thing since sliced bread. Oh my goodness.
Let it be the best thing since the nuclear-powered bread slicer.
Right.
Final Fantasy. This is most anticipated game: Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4 remake, I'm guessing, Starfield, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Well, that's a tough choice.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not a tough choice. Starfield, for me. Hogwarts.
Yeah, for me, it's Starfield. Hogwarts is a very close second.
Hogwarts, and I'm looking forward to the new Zelda, but
yeah,
it's between Hogwarts and Final Fantasy for me, because I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. I do miss the solo RPGs though. Like I'm not huge into the multiplayer stuff.
Right.
I really enjoyed their single player stuff because like that's where they came from. But like I really like what they've done. I love all the level ups in the artwork. The character looks really cool. But also Hogwarts, you can be your own wizard. Like you can customize your
I know that one is coming.
I really want to do that.
It is coming to the Switch. I hope it's I'm gonna look at the ratings and stuff and see if it's something that's okay for my kids. I'm gonna, but that might be a very fun family game as well. My kids and wife are all nuts about Harry Potter right now.
I think it will be an absolutely phenomenal game. I really think that they've got something just absolutely superb coming with that, and I'm really looking forward to it. I really am.
Shua says, "What if I want to play as a house elf?"
The fact that this is coming to PC, man, you just wait. There's gonna be mods. There's gonna be mods. There's gonna be mods.
I'm sure there's a house elf. Just go to what's that site? Where like all the people release their just games they've made in their spare time. I'm sure there's a power wash simulator. There's like truck driver simulator. There's got to be a house elf simulator. There's got to be, right?
Must be.
We'll skip best esports team, best esports game, best esports athlete, best esports team. What was the other one that I skipped?
All the best esports,
best esports
nephews,
game,
cousins,
best esports,
brothers,
yeah,
uncles,
blah 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 blah.
nephews.
Best esports coach, best esports event. Well, that's the end of it.
Woo! Esports all the way.
That's the last category. So, unfortunately, we have to end it there. There was a few other things we were hoping to talk about, but out of time. Got to get the kids from school. Got to do life and stuff. But we'll be here next week to watch the actual Game Awards. What time? Check the Discord server or the Gilded server. We have a Gilded server as well as a Discord server. It hasn't caught on nearly as much as the Discord server, but it does have the memes channel, and I go there for the memes. memes. Check out all the links below, the merch store, the Patreon, all of that stuff, and of course subscribe to all of our channels. You don't want to miss Maximum News. You don't want to miss stuff on AI Plays, which I really gotta link that to our main channel. You mentioned it on
So many things.
on Maximum News the other day, Saib. You're like, you can find it in the little channels button. I was like, oops, no, you can't. I better add that.
Oops.
Oh, we got Drunken Camera Beard says, thanks for the chill stream. Well, you're welcome. Thanks for joining us. I think you were lurking in the background and that which is totally fine. Glad to know that that you enjoyed it. There'll be another one next week where it might be slightly less well, it'll still be chill, but we'll be actually restreaming the actual Game Awards. But
Yeah.
we're going to be continuing this on every Thursday. We'll be doing, and having a chill hangout time is the goal for this. So thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. We'll talk to you very soon.